Trump is going to recognize statehood for Artsakh. Trump is going to recognize the sovereign nation of Artsakh. Is that true? Well, let's see. This article is from yesterday. Actually, today, I guess, is the update, but it was written originally 2 days ago, or yesterday. It's October 28th in Armenia right now. So it's tomorrow over there already. But this is from yesterday. Trump's remarks hinted potential U.S. recognition of Artsakh independence. Armenian top lawmaker says, "We've already succeeded. We've done our job. Let's cancel the YouTube channel. We don't need to do it anymore. We've gotten through to Trump. He's going to recognize statehood for Artsakh." Well, let's just read. This is a short. Yerevan, October 26th, Armenian Press. Parliament Majority Leader of Armenia, Lilit Mankuts, who is also the chair of the Armenian-United States Parliamentary Friendship Group, she says she believes that the October 25th remarks by U.S. President Donald Trump in New Hampshire on Armenians and Artsakh is a hint for a potential recognition of Artsakh by the United States. Armenian Parliamentary Deputy Speaker Alan Simonian is of the same opinion. Donald Trump today hinted in New Hampshire that the United States could recognize the independence of Artsakh, the Armenian lawmaker said, and quoted Trump's speech. Armenia, we're working on that. We're working. We did it with Kosovo and Serbia. Do you believe I got 3 nominations for the Nobel Peace Prize? Can you believe it? Trump said in a campaign event in New Hampshire when one of the speakers said, "Armenia for Trump." So now we have Armenia. Look at the Armenia. They are incredible people. They're fighting like hell, right? They're fighting like hell. And you know what? We're going to get something done because thank you, and I love you too. The Armenians have had a tough go. In fact, I was in yesterday, Ohio, actually. I was in Ohio because I went to various stops. But in Ohio, we had a tremendous group of Armenians with the flag and the whole thing, the spirit, the problems they have, and the death and the fighting and everything else. Well, we'll get that straightened out. I call that an easy one, okay? We'll get that. Get back and tell your people. Go back and tell your people. All right? We'll get that straightened out. Armenia, why not? It's easy. If you know what you're doing, it's like that. If you know what you're doing, it's easy. But we will, he continued. All right, so I don't do a Trump impression, but it's on his radar. Someone's in his ear. But is it going to happen? Is Donald J. Trump going to recognize statehood for Artsakh? I can't believe, I thought of starting this YouTube channel based on that, and it was just a thought I had. I'm like, what's the solution? Just statehood. I know Armenia wants to be a part of Armenia, and Azerbaijan wants to be a part of Azerbaijan, but the best thing to do is recognize its independence. So it's a compromise. The people that are there are Armenians. They've ruled themselves. There's legitimate rights to that territory. And all right, so now the president is saying, or at least they're purporting that that's on his mind. Let's see if we're about to accomplish our task. If not, then this YouTube channel is going to continue. Well, it'll continue even if you recognize it, because sovereign Artsakh won't end the argument, but it'll end the fighting, or at least it'll bring the right side. Things will line up. I want to just throw a wrench in the works here. All right, Israel Hayom. I think this is a pretty legitimate news source, Israeli news. This is a disturbing article, and I'll probably spend more time on this later, but let me just say, should the world avoid recognizing Nagorno-Karabakh as an independent entity? The crisis in Nagorno-Karabakh has an uncanny resemblance to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, which is why it is in an Israeli interest that Nagorno-Karabakh never receives international recognition, especially given the fact that Iran has taken a stance against Azerbaijan due to their positive relationship with Israel. All right, basically this guy is arguing that no. If the argument that it needs to be independent is based on the ethnic population of the region because it's mostly Armenian, then it violates something that the NATO resolution in Israel, it's certain parts of Israel are part of Israel, except those regions have a majority Palestinian ethnic population, but they've been recognized as Israel. And so that's a logic against the ethnic argument that this should be an Armenian entity, Nagorno-Karabakh. Well, That argument doesn't fly for a number of reasons, but there's a bunch of background that I'll hint at right here. So there are a lot of people in the Jewish community. I don't know what percentage, but there are a lot of people in the Jewish community that push against recognition of the Armenian genocide, because what that does is legally, if the United States of America recognizes that the Armenian genocide was a genocide, it's a legal matter. Like, the term changes the status legally, and then Turkey will be subject to sanctions and reparations. At least that's the thought. I don't know that would be a big push. I don't know. I mean, I know there are some that they want their land back. I mean, all of this beautiful territory used to be in the hands of the Armenians. But I'm not getting into that part of the argument. But because the Jewish nation, the Jews received a lot of money from Germany, like lots of money every year because of the Holocaust of World War II, that the argument is that if you recognize the Armenian genocide and you don't push for reparations, then it delegitimizes the reparations that they received. Or it's more complex than that, but there is a contingent of Jews that's their motive for fighting against the recognition of the Armenian genocide. And I've been told this. I've been told this a couple of times by different people, and this kind of backs up that supposition that Israel is an ally of Azerbaijan, so that's one. They get 40% of their fuels from Azerbaijan. And Iran is purportedly more of an ally of Armenia, but is the arch rival or the enemy of Israel. And so there's another reason. And then this argument about, they're making the argument that Nagorno-Karabakh should not be recognized. There's more in this article, but what this does is it highlights the complication of the issue. We are allies with Israel, one of our strongest ally in that part of the world. But I believe that the President of the United States is going to do the right thing. If he doesn't get reelected next week, he better do it before he leaves office. Because I'm not sure any of this would even rise to the desk of a Joe Biden presidency. I'll do an article on that, or an episode on that, why I think Biden is actually less likely to do it than Trump. All right, that's enough. Share, subscribe. I know I'm a little scatterbrained in these, but I'm just trying to crank a couple out. I got a bunch of chores to run today. So subscribe, share, and click the notification bell